Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, it's back into the big one, Gary Grigsby's War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is our play-by-email challenge against the devilish Mr. Lodrick, and it is now February 1st, 1942. The dawning of February brought new challenges, yet deadly consequences to the Allies. Let's see if that's true. We'll see what Lodrick has in store for us. Right now on the map, he's started to try to bomb into Rangoon a little bit. He has that would be kind of the next place to go. He's taken Singapore. It's really down to the Dutch East Indies in that general area. He's taken most of Borneo, almost all of the Philippines. He's moved now into Papua New Guinea. Port Moresby, really the last bastion left there. So I'm dumping everything I can into Australia and the line of islands that we have from Nomaya, Suva, Pago Pago, all of those areas. Up past Rangoon into India, we're dumping, everything we can from Aden and Abadan into Karachi. We also have some more troops on the way, but we'll talk about that next time in the setup. Let's go ahead and select this game and see what happened on February 1st and February 2nd of 1942. I'm going to venture to guess there's bombing in China. That is a reoccurring theme, it seems, in just an unprecedented bombing campaign, at least in the games I've ever played, and I've played a bunch of them. It's really quite effective. I've liked it. If I ever get around to playing the Japanese side again, I certainly will try to do the same. It'll be interesting to see now with Lodrick. Okay, as we see, he does have a task force coming down the west side of Australia. You can see we're merging a bunch of ships out by India. Now I am bringing the British carrier and the British battleship, the one of each that we have, down the coast of India to Bombay. Now that may be questioned, and as we get into the game, we'll talk about it more. Dutch sub. This is our Dutch sub. Looks like we got a hit on a PB out here, or at least that's what it looked like to me. Let's see if we actually sunk it. The Shaku Maru, number 5 torpedo hits 1 heavy damage. So that likely will go down. Now that'll be 2 turns in a row. We've hit one of these PBs, which those are his 1 or 2 point ships, right? I mean, they're not that important. They do have some ASW, so we got to get through these before we get to the big stuff. So, the more we can thin out, the better. All right, he is now going to bombard off Ambon. So it seems like he's decided he's going to go this way instead of kind of swooping around with a right hook from the top, I guess left to us, but right for him. He's going to kind of come down this way. Probably, I don't know. You can go either way. It does put a little more pressure on Darwin. We took 12 casualties there. Our coastal guns, sometimes those coastal guns will hit one of these big ships out there. That's always a lot of fun. If it's happening to him, not to us, but he will be landing some troops on Ambon now. Okay, amphibious assault on Ambon. 17 Japanese casualties have been reported. This is Kavieng. We have no way of defending that. I think we have a base force there or a very small one of those Khoi regiments. So it's very little, but they've got no chance. All right, he's got ships right off Leh. More unloading at Ambon. All right, Dutch sub back in action here. This is a little SC. Looks like we got a hit on it. These Dutch subs, I mean, when they run into something, they usually do damage. I've been commenting as we go on, they've actually done a lot less damage in this game. He's done a good job with his escorts. So again, I mean, this is really like an escort craft. This is a 1 or 2 point ship. And so we got a torpedo hit in. It's on fire, heavy damage. Well, it's possible we actually took down 2 ships this time. We'll see. But he's in on a 1 point cargo ship, Japanese sub coming down the west coast here. Now this was an unescorted AKL that I was trying to get around to Darwin. One thing when you play the Allies that you're always going to have problems with at the start in 1942 is getting supply to Darwin. That's why it's so important in early turns to take a big task force out of Sydney, Brisbane, up in that area, and dump as much supply into Darwin as you can before the Japanese get down here. Because once they're down here, it is very hard. Now, you may say, well, it's hooked up to the rail, but it's not. The rail only comes to here. These are roads, right? So the rail comes to Alice Springs, then it's all road. There's no easy way to get supply to Darwin, so you need to dump in there. I'm trying to get 1 or 2 ships up here every, couple of turns to try to dump off. Well, he's got a submarine there, so we've now lost a 1 point cargo ship. The Cinnabang sinks. And then we had a couple of others. I think these are little AKLs. They don't stand a chance. He's got 2 light cruisers here and 4 destroyers, and they just absolutely rip these apart. So that's 3 1 point cargo ships that we lost this time. Hey, it's 3-2 this time, assuming his 2 ships sunk, and we don't even know that. All right, that was the naval reaction phase. Now we're into the air phase. We see the Zeros sweeping up over Yan'an. They find nothing. And now he's got 30 Oscars coming in on Rangoon. We get the Flying Tigers up. The Flying Tigers have not been very good in this game as compared to what you usually see. Now, you saw a lot of numbers clicking down both on his side and my side. But really, a lot of times what that is they disengage. So when they disengage and go back to base or back to the airfield, you'll see that click down because it's only showing you what the number of planes that are in the current air-to-air fight. 30 and 19. Okay, we held our own here. 1 destroyed Oscar, 1 destroyed H-81 Flying Tiger. Oh, we'll take that. We'll take that. He's doing a good job of getting his very good pilots up to the front. Now, against the AI, you'd want to see 5-1 losses in your favor there. Zeros up and over the top. They find nothing again. We're not really flying any cap out here. So all of his sweeps, which is smart. He's sweeping here first, making sure we don't have fighters up. Then he brings the bombers. And again, he's going to sweep up over Yunnan. Now the bombing starts. The Mabels, these guys are trying to get back to Henyang. This stack. Here comes some Oscars into Rangoon again. Now, we've got plenty of cap here, and we've got Trops coming down here, which can really do some damage to his Oscars, certainly. Oh, shoot, sorry. I can tell you, I don't think anything was lost there. I mistakenly went past that. 25 Sonias bombing this stack that's trying to get out of here. It's the Loyang stack, I've been calling it. He gets 3 damaged planes. We take no damage ourselves. Now he's bombing into Yan'an with his Sallies. 3 damaged Sallies. We took 95 casualties. All right, big bomb force here outside of Nanyang. He's got about 60 or 70 bombers here. 2 of them get damaged. We take 187 casualties. Not the best of results for us there. Tojo's, which is another one of his fighters. So it's Tojo's, Oscars, Zeros. That's what you'll see, his fighters. That's just a sweep over Changsha. All right, 2 Oscars on the sweep. Yunnan, here comes a massive bombing force with 56, like 120 bombers into Yunnan. We damage 5 planes and we take 74 casualties. Okay. 13 Sonias, 1 damage plane. We take no damage on the ground. 9 Ans here by Nanyang. We took 14 casualties on the ground. As I mentioned many times before, all of this bombing he does in China also makes his bombing pilots better for later on. So it has double benefit. 9 Sonia's here. The only way it could turn into a detriment is if we shoot enough of them down that he starts to lose pilots, because it's very hard for the Japanese to replace pilots, at least good ones. 9 Sonia's. This is actually us, B-17D over the top of Leh. Looks like we have quite a bit of cloud cover. Yep, light rain, so we don't really hit anything. We put 4 500-pound bombs onto the port, didn't hit it. Just trying to keep him a little honest there. We've got 3 more coming in here. The big B-17s, you can hear them flying over the top. I have got these things all the way up at 25,000 feet, I believe. Nope, these guys came in at 8,000 feet because they come down. I fly them out here at 25,000 feet just because I don't want to run into any of his cap that's low flying. And so, this early in the game, I'm flying him at 25,000 feet. When he's got air superiority, later on, we'll move those down as we take over air superiority, or we've got fighters in the area, etc. But as of right now, I mean, we've got no cover for those guys, no escorts to go out with them. So it's just kind of getting those guys some training. He doesn't have a lot of air assets yet in that area yet. They're coming, and so it's just kind of a way of saying, hey, we're here. I guess more than anything, we didn't lose any planes. We also didn't hit the port. So all in all, hopefully that trained our guys up a point or two. We'll see. All right, lots of sightings here, but not a lot of pure action. That'd be fine with me. We need, another rest turn. We need a lot of them. As I always say, as every turn clicks by here, as the allies, you get more and more of the advantage. So, a turn where not a whole lot happens really, really is a positive turn for us. Dutch sub in on another SC, as we were talking about. I mean, he's running these SCs, the PBs through here with some ASW. Dutch sub, launches. It elects not to launch torpedoes. That could be because it just determined, I mean, this is not a high value enough ship to really worry about. Or maybe they just didn't think they had a good shot. I don't know. All comes down to your commander there. The PG Herald had flotation. All of that stuff going into Diego Garcia had gotten hit before and has got some problems. The PB Nakomaru is out here doing a bombardment on Puerto Princesa. Now they're starting to unload troops at Puerto Princesa. We have more amphibious task forces out here at Ambon. That's also, oh, there we go. 10 coastal guns shots fired in defense. Okay. Well, you can see here, invasion support action off Ambon. Those are his ships bombarding the coast. The defensive guns engage approaching landing force. Yay, good job. All right. 10 coastal gun shots fired in defense. All right. Japanese ships. The AP Akushima Maru got 2 shell hits and is on fire, which is excellent. I mean, that's a transport ship. Um, and you can see the 150 millimeters are engaging it at 9,000 yards, but we hit it twice and it's on fire. I mean, that's probably the ship that's got his troops, his landing force on it. So that's excellent. Good. We need a lot of stuff like that. The coastal guns can actually be pretty effective. That's why he's been bringing battleships and whatnot in and softening things up. All right, he's attacking this group just to the east of Nanyang. It's got some force to it, but he's got a lot more. So, hopefully this thing doesn't get completely destroyed. We'll say this stack. Now they're all retreating out of here. So it's not like we're just going to zero because they're all getting killed. It's because they're retreating. We'll have to see if we held our own out here. It's unlikely. These guys have been out here kind of wandering around like Bedouins for turn after turn. All right, let's see what we get. So the Japanese have 127,000 troops in that stack. 1388 on the guns, 10 or I almost said 10,000. 1,000 vehicles. Overall assault value 4151 to 638. Then you see the adjustments. His didn't go down that much. Ours did. We don't have good supply. We don't have good experience. And we're in move mode. He took 1524. We took 18,000 casualties. Ouch. And that's what happens when you get caught in move mode. I'm trying to get those guys out of there, but, ultimately, he's just done a good job of boxing them in and making it very difficult. Kavyang has now surrendered. All right, so he's taking Kavyang. Looks like he's out here. It's Sadate. Okay. Did he take it? Yeah, I was going to say. So he captures Sadate out here on Celebus. Now he's coming after Ambon. We should be able to hold on, especially now that we've hit one of his transports for a little bit anyway. And as you can see, the assault value, we actually have an advantage, but this was just a bombardment attack by us. So as he hit on the ground here, we're bombarding him. All right, Canton, Bombay. We're building up the fortifications, Diamond Harbor out here. And that's going to about do it for February 1st. So overall, I mean, we lost, what, 3 cargo ships, all 1 point ships. That's certainly okay. We did hit and set on fire a couple of his escort ships, and then we lost a really big battle in China. 18,000 men. Now, you are generally going to lose, 5 to 6 to 1 out in China. We do not like to lose 9 or 10 to 1, and that's what just happened there. You can't get caught in move mode. That was, partially my. I mean, they were going to get ripped up one way or another, but that was above and beyond ripping up. That was a bad loss, and you just can't get caught in move mode because that gives them a big penalty. You can see there's some things that are beginning to refit. You can kind of decide what your supply levels are like at different places, whether you actually want to refit, especially the AKs. Most of the time, you can refit some of them, the cargo ships. What you want to refit, obviously, are your surface ships, your battleships, your cruisers, your light cruisers. That's the stuff you really want to refit. But I refit some of these. Takes supply. If you don't want that to happen, take them off of upgrade. All right, we're about to flip to February 2nd. All right, we got a new destroyer at Cape Town. We got cargo ships in at Balboa. Got some in at Abaddon. A new tanker at Abaddon. These RAF forces, these squadrons, I actually transferred down to Hyderabad. That's where I have my bombers train usually. We also have some stuff coming into Madras. I love the name of that town, that fort, Bay Bay. They've taken Bay Bay. Oh no. All right, here comes. This is more just bombardment of Puerto Princesa. He's continuing to unload at Ambon. The Cachalot, U.S. sub here. Now, the Cachalot's gotten a lot of torpedoes off at things. It either doesn't hit or it doesn't explode. And once again, these damn Mark 14 torpedoes. The Cachalot was in on a cargo ship, the Kohoko Maru, but nothing doing. Dutch sub. All right. Well, looks like we've run into a destroyer here. I don't know who's on who, but we did get hit 5 times. ASW attack. So he found us. He found these Dutch subs out here. We took 5 hits. It's not saying we're on fire, so we should be able to get back to Surabaya unless we get hit again. And here we go. You can see, nope, didn't get us. Okay, so we bottomed out. We're getting out of there. I hope. I hope. Hopefully that won't be too much damage. Well, I keep saying he's going to get out of there. Is he? He got hit again. 3 more hits from the Asagamu. Okay, he's been hit 8 times. That seems like a lot for a sub. That would really rattle your cage. Here's another Dutch sub. This is again against one of his smaller ASW ships, an SC. Nothing happens there. We elected not to launch torpedoes yet again. I'm kind of glad about that. I mean, you don't want to waste your torpedoes on these 1 point ships. It's kind of fun when you sink them. You're like, yeah, we're making progress, but really it's not going to do anything much. Okay, he's bombarding Puerto Princesa, of course. Ambon, unload. Repairing ships, yes, please. And more bombardment here at Ambon. Be nice if we hit. Hey, we did. We hit an AP. I thought we hit this one the first time. Now we've hit another one. Shell hits one. It's also on fire. Wow, the guns of Ambon are engaging. Looks like we've hit 2 transports here this turn. Whether they actually go down or not is a different question, but they're on fire, and that's never good for troops. All right, you could see he still had some subs out there by Pearl Harbor. That flashed by kind of quickly, but you could see it. We're now doing all of our reports, coast watchers, what people are seeing out there. All right, the Oscars are coming up and over Rangoon. I was wrong. I was thinking a little bit in the future. We don't have the hurricane traps out here yet. I think they arrive next turn, and then they can really get after the Japanese fighters. As it is, it's just the Flying Tigers here, and as I've said many times, they've struggled this game. One destroyed here. The Japanese took no losses. His strategy is always just fly these sweeps over, wear out our cap, and then bring the bombers. 9 zeros on a sweep over there, 1 0 over a sweep over Yan'an. Okay, we're seeing some float planes out in this area, which would suggest that maybe he has a carrier or two over here. 7 Oscars over Rangoon. We don't even put up a cap that time. 25 Sonias ready to bomb. It's overcast out here, it tells us. 4 damaged Sonias, 5 casualties on the ground. We'll take that. Almost 100 bombers over Yan'an. We damage 5 and take 67 casualties. Southeastern China here. It looks like he's got about 70 or 80 bombers in on this stack. We damage one and take 69 casualties. And then he's got a few stragglers here that wanted to get in on the fun. Nothing happened there. 12 Idas, 25 casualties, 19 Marys, 8 casualties, and Idas, Lilies. This is a big group out here on Wu Chao. 2 damaged planes, 71 casualties. He's got about 50 bombers in on Yan'an, 2 damaged planes, 43 casualties. 23 Lilies, straggling group, 2 damaged planes. We take no casualties. So the bombing in China this time wasn't too bad for us so far. Anyway, quite a few damaged planes, not that many casualties. But has he spoken too soon? We shall soon find out. 2 damaged planes, 60 casualties. I mean, that's all acceptable. It's when you get the 250 casualties and 1 damaged plane that's not what you want to see. Lots of sightings. He's got a lot of planes flying around. These are our B-17s. They're trying to hit Lay again, but at flying at 25,000 feet, well, actually 22,000 feet is where they came in at. I've got some at 20,000, some at 8,000. They saw us at 22,000, they're claiming, but we're coming in at 20,000 and 8,000. I flew them at 2 different, so I was wrong earlier. They don't descend when they're going to bomb a port. It's dive bombers, obviously, that would descend. 20,000 feet, 8,000 feet, 2 and 2. We did hit the air base for 1 point and the runway for 3 points. I mean, it's not much, but it's really, again, just to say hello, we're here. He doesn't have the air power, I don't believe anyway, in the area to get up and cap against us. So just trying to bomb one of his new ports. Why not? All right, we got some zeros over Yunnan. Just an old-fashioned sweep. He's flying in at 16,000 feet. Keep that in mind. If we can get something over there at 20,000 feet, we could potentially shoot down a few zeros. We just don't have any planes really in the area. Um, 7 Japanese ships near Bombay. That's what they're saying. It's probably our ships. Our coast watchers looked out there and said, "Oh no, it's the Japanese," but it's actually probably our ships. That happens quite often. Okay, we did put up some flying tigers here in Cap, which we haven't done much of here in the center. We'll see if they all got shot down. Nope, nobody took any losses. He had 10 Oscars. We had 3 of the H-81s. Nobody took a loss there, but that will gather his attention. He'll be doing a lot more sweeps there now. 9 Sonyas over the top of this. No losses for either side. 6 Sonyas in here. No losses. Pretty quiet day here on February 2nd, certainly. Here come the land attacks. He's trying to take Ambon again. And once again, actually, that was our bombardment attack. So we're lofting artillery his way as he tries to land on the beach. Nobody's took any damages. He's only showing 252 troops. Now, that could be because we hit two of his transports, or it could be that they just haven't fully unloaded yet, certainly. But we're putting up a stiff resistance here at Ambon. And now the port expansions, fortification expansions will happen. So overall, this turned very positive for us. Nothing bad happened, which is what you're trying to avoid in February of 42, certainly. That land battle in China, yes, we did take much more losses than I'd like. I mean, really, like I said, you got to keep those losses to 5 to 6 to 1. You got to make sure you don't get trapped on the move, which we did there, and you lose 18,000 men. Now, luckily, if the Chinese are going to lose anything, losing men is is that's what they got the most of. Let's put it that way. And so that you can rebuild those units, but we got to get that unit out of there. We'll probably have to flip it back to combat mode so it just doesn't get trapped like that again. Now, it did get ejected into the hex next to it, so actually we may just try to march out of there still, but can't get caught there. Overall, though, we lose three 1-point AKLs. We don't really lose too much else. In the air, he didn't really hurt us too much this time. We did take some casualties on the ground in China, but we also damaged a lot of planes. Some of those probably went down. Well, I don't know. A few of those maybe went down. So anyway, overall, I think it's a really positive turn for us in early February of 1942. And when we come back next time, we'll go look around the map, we'll check out the stats, and we'll see what we're trying to do in the setup for February 3rd of 42. Thank you so much for joining me. I always appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I'll talk to you next time. Strategy Gaming Dojo out.